Imagine this. One person is tirelessly chasing someone's attention. They rearrange their life, hang on every reply, and bend over backwards to be noticed. Yet the harder they try, the more the other person pulls away, leaving them feeling small, powerless, and disposable. Now picture someone else. They are calm, confident, and focused on their own life. They know their worth and don't seek validation. Their quiet strength draws others in effortlessly, like a magnet. Why does this happen? What is the secret behind this undeniable pull? Attraction, at its core, is about respect and intrigue. It's not about trying harder, it's about mastering yourself so completely that others can't help but be drawn to you. The techniques we're about to explore aren't manipulative. They're rooted in understanding human psychology, and more importantly, in Stoicism. They teach you how to cultivate self-control, radiate confidence, and prioritize your worth. What if you could stop chasing and start being chased? What if you could become the calm in someone else's storm, the person others naturally gravitate toward? In this video, we'll uncover 7 transformative techniques to control attraction using dark psychology principles. These aren't tricks, they're methods for building true self-mastery, the foundation of Stoic philosophy. Stay until the end, because the most profound lesson comes last. How mastering these principles doesn't just make you more attractive, but frees you to live authentically. Ready to unlock the secrets of magnetic attraction? Let's dive in. 1. Mastery of the self. The true source of attraction. The first and most important principle of attraction is this: you must master yourself before you can attract others. Everything begins with you. Ask yourself, are you chasing validation? Do you feel incomplete without someone's attention? If so, you are placing your worth in someone else's hands, giving them power over your happiness. Is it any wonder they pull away? True attraction comes from within. It's rooted in self-mastery, a cornerstone of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." The same applies to attraction. Instead of chasing, be the person worth chasing. When you prioritize your own goals, values, and growth, you radiate an energy that others can't ignore. Think about it. What kind of person do you want to be around? Someone who seems desperate, always bending to your will, or someone who stands tall with their own dreams and direction? People are naturally drawn to strength and independence. When you show that you respect yourself, others will respect you too. Mastering yourself doesn't mean closing yourself off or pretending you don't care about others. It means becoming so rooted in your own identity that you're not swayed by their approval or lack of it. You aren't desperate for their validation because you've already validated yourself. That's power. That's magnetic. So how do you master yourself? Start small. Define your values. Set goals for your personal growth. Commit to activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, independent of anyone else. Develop habits that build self-discipline. As you focus on your growth, you'll find that you're less concerned with seeking approval from others. And paradoxically, this makes you more attractive. Here's a question to ponder. What's stopping you from focusing on yourself? Is it fear? Insecurity? Whatever it is, face it. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control others, only our own actions and responses. So choose to take control of your life, not for anyone else, but for yourself. As you do, you'll notice a shift, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. Mastery of the self isn't a quick fix, it's a lifelong journey. But it's also the most liberating and transformative step you can take. Are you ready to embrace it? In the next section, we'll explore how to harness unpredictability to keep others intrigued and engaged. Stay tuned, it only gets more powerful from here. 2. Controlled chaos. The art of intrigue. If mastery of the self is the foundation of attraction, controlled chaos is the spark that keeps it alive. Attraction thrives on curiosity. When someone feels they completely understand you, predict your every move, or know they have your full attention at all times, the intrigue begins to fade. But when you introduce just enough unpredictability, you create a magnetic pull that keeps people wanting more. Have you ever noticed how some people seem effortlessly fascinating? They aren't chasing, over-texting, or always available. yet others are drawn to them. Why? Because their time feels valuable, their energy scarce, and their attention like a privilege. Controlled chaos is about mastering this balance, being selectively available while keeping enough of your life private to make others curious. Now, let's clarify, this isn't about playing games or ignoring people. Controlled chaos is about showing that you have a life outside of any relationship. It's about creating a dynamic where your presence feels like a gift, not a given. Ask yourself, are you always the first to reply? Do you drop everything to make yourself available? If so, you're signaling that your time is less valuable than theirs. And people subconsciously take cues from this. Think of it this way. When you're always on call, it's like offering an all-you-can-eat buffet, abundant but not special. Contrast that with a rare, fine dining experience. Which one do people savor more? Your availability works the same way. Being unpredictable keeps others invested, intrigued, and eager to connect with you. How can you introduce controlled chaos into your interactions? Start with small shifts. Instead of replying to messages immediately, take your time. Let your responses feel intentional, not rushed. Occasionally, let the other person initiate plans or communication. Show that you're busy pursuing your passions, hobbies, or career, and not waiting on their attention. This subtle unpredictability adds an air of mystery, making every interaction feel more meaningful. The psychological principle at play here is called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same concept that makes slot machines so addictive. When people don't know exactly when they'll receive your attention, they value it more. They start to associate your interactions with excitement, anticipation, and intrigue. That's the magnetic pull of controlled chaos. But beware of taking it too far. Controlled chaos isn't about being aloof or emotionally unavailable. It's about balance. You're not ignoring the person you're interested in, you're simply maintaining your own life while inviting them into it on your terms. A great example of this might be alternating between fully engaged and slightly distant moments. After a fun date or great conversation, resist the urge to follow up immediately. Let the connection breathe. When you reach out later, it will feel intentional and thoughtful, not reactive. Here's another way to practice controlled chaos. Prioritize your routines and goals. When your life feels full and purposeful, you naturally create boundaries that protect your time and energy. You'll find it easier to engage when it matters and step back when it doesn't. People pick up on this energy. It tells them you respect yourself, and they will too. So why does this technique work so well? Because it taps into one of the deepest human desires, the need to feel intrigued and valued. When you create moments of uncertainty, you're building tension and excitement, key ingredients in any relationship. Controlled chaos allows you to stand out in a world where constant availability is the norm. It's an invitation to see you as someone worth pursuing, not someone who's waiting to be pursued. Now, let's turn the lens back on you. Are you ready to reclaim your time and energy? What's one habit you can shift today to signal that your attention is precious? Perhaps it's choosing to respond to messages only during specific times. Maybe it's dedicating evenings to your hobbies or passions, creating natural gaps in your availability. Whatever it is, start small and watch how the dynamic shifts, not just in your relationships, but in how you feel about yourself. If this idea resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. How do you plan to create controlled chaos in your life? And if you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to hit the like button to let me know we're on the right track. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our time, our energy, and our responses. Controlled chaos is your tool to create boundaries while remaining open and inviting. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the surprising power of imperfection and how embracing your flaws can make you more relatable and attractive. Stick around, this is where things get truly transformative. 3. Intentional imperfections. The power of being relatable. What if I told you that striving for perfection is one of the least attractive things you can do? It might sound counterintuitive in a world that glorifies flawless appearances and perfect performances, but here's the truth. Perfection can push people away. It feels intimidating, distant, and unapproachable. People aren't drawn to perfection, they're drawn to connection. And connection comes from relatability. Think of someone who always seems perfect. Their words are polished, their appearance impeccable, and their actions without flaw. Impressive? Sure, but does it feel comfortable? Probably not. Now think of someone who's unafraid to laugh at their own mistakes or share a story where they fell short. But doesn't that person feel more human? More real? That's the power of intentional imperfections. Intentional imperfections aren't about making yourself look bad or clumsy. Instead, they're about embracing small, harmless flaws that remind others you're human. It's not about weakness, it's about strength. The strength to be authentic. When you're comfortable with your imperfections, you send a powerful message. I accept myself as I am. And that's magnetic. Let's unpack this further. Why do imperfections create such a strong connection? It comes down to empathy. When people see your flaws, they recognize something of themselves in you. Everyone has insecurities, mistakes, and moments they're not proud of. By sharing yours, you create a bridge of understanding that invites others to relax and be themselves around you. Consider this example. You're texting someone, and instead of carefully crafting every message, you let a small typo slip through. Maybe you even laugh about it with a quick, "Oops, guess I'm not great at multitasking today." That tiny mistake doesn't make you look careless. It makes you relatable. It shows you're not trying too hard to impress, and that confidence is incredibly appealing. Or imagine being on a date. Instead of rattling off your accomplishments, you tell a funny story about a time you tripped in front of a crowd or misunderstood a simple instruction. These small anecdotes might feel vulnerable to share, but they're the moments people remember. They highlight your humanity and your ability to laugh at yourself, two traits that foster connection. Why does this work so well? It's because people crave authenticity. In a world filled with filters and highlight reels, genuine imperfection stands out. It feels real, honest, and refreshing. It's a reminder that we don't have to be perfect to be valued. And that's a message everyone wants to hear. Now, this doesn't mean you should go out of your way to create mistakes or blunders. The key is subtlety. Intentional imperfections should feel natural, not forced. A misplaced word here, a self-deprecating joke there. These small moments add depth to your character without overshadowing your strengths. But here's the surprising part. Embracing your imperfections doesn't just make you more relatable to others, it also strengthens your relationship with yourself. When you stop striving for unattainable perfection, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure. You begin to see your flaws not as weaknesses, but as unique quirks that make you who you are. This perspective is deeply rooted in Stoicism. The Stoics teach us to accept reality as it is, including our own imperfections. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." While this might sound like a call for perfection, it's really about self-awareness. It's about knowing your limitations and working on them without losing sight of your intrinsic value. So how can you start practicing intentional imperfections? First, let go of the need to control every impression you make. If a small mistake happens, embrace it instead of covering it up. Second, share stories or moments where you weren't at your best, whether it's a minor fail or a humorous misunderstanding. And finally, remind yourself that imperfections are what make you real, approachable, and memorable. Here's a question for you to reflect on. When was the last time someone's imperfection made you like them more? Was it a friend who admitted they forgot something important but handled it with humor? Or a coworker who laughed at a small mistake they made in a presentation? Chances are, those moments made them feel more relatable and even more admirable. The beauty of intentional imperfections is that they don't require you to be anything other than yourself. You don't need to try harder, you just need to let go of trying so hard. And in doing so, you allow others to see and appreciate the real you. In the next section, we'll explore how boldness in expressing your opinions can enhance your attractiveness without creating conflict. Stay tuned, because this technique reveals the power of confidence paired with kindness. 4. Bold opinions. Confidence that connects. Have you ever held back an opinion worried that expressing it might cause conflict or make you seem unlikable? Most of us have. It's natural to want to avoid tension or fit in, especially when you're trying to impress someone. But here's the twist. Holding back too much can make you appear inauthentic, indecisive, or overly eager to please. And none of those traits are attractive. People are drawn to confidence. And one of the best ways to demonstrate it is by expressing bold opinions with kindness and respect. Boldness isn't about being combative or argumentative. It's about standing firm in what you believe while remaining open to the perspectives of others. It's about having the courage to express yourself authentically, even when your opinion might differ. Think about this. When someone shares a clear, well-thought-out opinion, don't they seem more intriguing and self-assured? That's the energy you want to bring into your inner interactions. Why are bold opinions so powerful? Because they reveal who you are. They show depth, thoughtfulness, and conviction. When you confidently express your viewpoint, you're saying, "This is what I value, and I'm not afraid to share it." And that kind of honesty builds respect and trust. It also sets you apart in a world where many people play it safe by agreeing with whatever is said. Let's take an example. Imagine you're having a conversation about movies. Instead of saying, "I like all kinds of films," you say, "I really believe that older films have a unique depth that many modern ones lack." This statement immediately communicates something about your taste, your perspective, and your willingness to share it. It opens the door for a richer, more engaging conversation, even if the other person disagrees. But what if they do disagree? This is where kindness and respect come into play. The goal isn't to prove you're right or to dominate the conversation, it's to create a meaningful exchange. When someone offers a different opinion, listen thoughtfully. Respond with curiosity, not defensiveness. For instance, you might say, "That's an interesting point, I hadn't thought of it that way. What's a modern film you think captures that same depth?" This approach not only keeps the conversation flowing, but also demonstrates emotional maturity. It shows that you're confident enough in your views to welcome different perspectives. And this balance of conviction and openness is incredibly attractive. But why does this work? Bold opinions signal authenticity, a trait deeply valued in relationships. People are tired of surface-level interactions. They crave depth and honesty, qualities that come through when you're unafraid to express your true thoughts. When you voice a bold opinion, you're inviting others to connect with the real you, not a polished version crafted to gain approval. From a psychological perspective, this also creates a subtle dynamic of respect. People respect those who stand by their beliefs without being rigid or dismissive. It shows integrity, self-awareness, and confidence, all qualities that enhance your magnetic presence. Now, let's address a common fear. What if they don't like my opinion? The truth is, not everyone will agree with you, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches us not to tie our self-worth to the approval of others. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This applies perfectly to expressing bold opinions. You cannot control how others respond, but you can control how authentically you express yourself. Here's a practical tip. The next time you're in a conversation, choose one topic you're passionate about and share your perspective. It doesn't have to be serious or controversial. It could be as simple as why you think a certain type of music is underrated or why you prefer homemade meals over dining out. The key is to be genuine. Speak clearly, confidently, and kindly. Then, invite the other person to share their thoughts. What you'll notice is that bold opinions not only make you stand out, but also create opportunities for deeper connection. When you share your thoughts, you're giving others permission to do the same. You're fostering an environment of authenticity and respect where meaningful conversations can flourish. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are, they're individuals who aren't afraid to speak their mind, yet they do so with grace and humility. They don't shy away from their values or beliefs, but they also don't force them onto others. This is the balance you want to strike. It's a blend of confidence and kindness that leaves a lasting impression. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require you to be loud, aggressive, or overly assertive. Bold opinions can be expressed quietly, even in casual moments. It's not the volume that matters, it's the authenticity behind your words. And when paired with genuine curiosity and respect for others, bold opinions become a bridge to deeper understanding and connection. As you begin to practice this, remember that expressing bold opinions isn't about winning approval or proving yourself. It's about sharing who you are, unapologetically and authentically. And in doing so, you'll attract people who value the real you. In the next section, we'll explore the quiet power of calmness and how staying unshaken in the face of chaos can make you irresistibly magnetic. Stay with me. This next technique is a true game changer. 5. The quiet power. Strengthen calmness. Imagine walking into a room filled with tension. People are debating, emotions are high, and the energy is chaotic. Amid all this noise, one person stands out, not because they're the loudest, but because they're calm, composed, and unshaken. This person isn't reactive, they're deliberate. They listen without rushing to speak, and when they do, their words carry weight. Their very presence radiates a quiet strength that commands attention. This is the power of calmness, and it's one of the most magnetic qualities a person can possess. In a world where most people feel the need to prove themselves or react impulsively, those who master the art of calm stand apart. They embody a kind of control that others can't help but admire. Why is calmness so powerful? Because it signals self-mastery, a core tenet of Stoicism. When you're calm, you're showing that you're in control of your emotions, your responses, and your energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This quiet strength isn't loud or showy, but it's incredibly compelling. Think of calmness as the eye of a storm. While chaos swirls around, the eye remains still, serene, and grounded. This stillness is magnetic because it provides a sense of safety and stability. People are naturally drawn to those who can remain composed in moments of uncertainty. Why? Because calmness is rare, and it creates trust. It says, I can handle myself no matter what happens. Now let's get practical. How do you cultivate this kind of quiet power? The first step is to pause. When faced with a situation that demands a reaction, be it an argument, a heated discussion, or a high-stakes moment, resist the urge to respond immediately. Take a breath. Count to 3. This pause gives you the space to choose your response deliberately, rather than reacting impulsively. Second, focus on your body language. Calmness isn't just about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. Stand tall, relax your shoulders, and make steady eye contact. These small adjustments communicate confidence and composure, even if you're feeling uncertain inside. Finally, practice listening more than speaking. Quiet power comes from observing and understanding, not dominating the conversation. When you listen deeply, you gain insights that allow you to respond thoughtfully. And when you do speak, your words carry more impact because they're rooted in understanding, not ego. But here's the question. How do you remain calm when emotions are running high? The answer lies in perspective. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. If someone is upset or trying to provoke you, their actions are beyond your control. What you can control is your response. Remind yourself their emotions are theirs, my calm is mine. This mindset helps you stay grounded no matter what's happening around you. Calmness also has a unique psychological effect on others. When you're unshaken, it encourages others to mirror your state of being. Imagine someone yelling in frustration. If you respond with calm, measured words instead of matching their tone, they're likely to de-escalate. Your composure becomes a stabilizing force, and that's incredibly attractive. This quiet power isn't just about handling conflict, it's a way of being. When you cultivate calmness in your everyday life, you create an aura of reliability and strength. People will begin to see you as someone they can lean on, someone they want in their corner. And in relationships, this quality becomes invaluable. It fosters trust, respect, and a sense of security that deepens connections. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who lose their temper or get rattled easily? Or are they the ones who stay composed even in the face of adversity? Chances are, it's the latter. Calmness is a signal of maturity, confidence, and emotional intelligence, all traits that draw others in. So how can you start practicing this today? The next time you're in a tense situation, make it your goal to be the calmest person in the room. Observe before you act. Speak only when you've thought through your words. And above all, don't let external chaos disrupt your internal peace. With practice, this quiet power will become second nature, transforming the way others see you and the way you see yourself. Now it's your turn. In the comments below, share a moment when you were able to stay calm under pressure. What helped you remain composed? And if you've ever admired someone for their calmness, what stood out to you about them? Let's learn from each other and build this strength together. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights rooted in Stoicism and self-mastery. Your calmness is your strength. Claim it, cultivate it, and let it guide you toward a more magnetic presence. In the next section, we'll explore how setting personal mini-challenges can build the kind of inner resilience that makes you truly unstoppable. Stick around. This next step takes self-mastery to a whole new level. 6. Personal mini-challenges. Building resilience and magnetism. If calmness is the quiet power that stabilizes your presence, personal mini-challenges are the daily tools that strengthen it. These small, intentional tests of discipline might seem unrelated to attraction at first glance, but they're at the core of what makes a person truly magnetic. Why? Because people are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate self-discipline, growth, and purpose. The more you commit to bettering yourself, even in the smallest ways, the more this quiet confidence radiates from within. Think of personal mini-challenges as stepping stones. Each one is a small climb that prepares you for bigger victories, building your inner resilience and confidence along the way. These challenges don't need to be grand or overwhelming. They only need to be consistent. By proving to yourself daily that you can set and meet goals, no matter how small, you cultivate a sense of self-respect that others can't help but notice. Why is this important? Attraction isn't just about how others perceive you. It's about how you perceive yourself. When you set and accomplish even the smallest goals, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, disciplined, and worthy. That belief becomes the foundation of your confidence. And confidence, as we've seen throughout this journey, is one of the most attractive traits a person can possess. Let's start with examples of personal mini-challenges. These could include waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate, journaling for 10 minutes a day, drinking more water, or committing to a daily walk. The key is to make the challenge specific and achievable, yet slightly outside your comfort zone. For instance, if you struggle to put your phone down before bed, commit to 30 minutes of screen-free time before sleep. It's a small step, but it creates a ripple effect of self-control and intentionality. What makes these challenges so transformative is their cumulative effect. Each time you meet a goal, you build a sense of accomplishment that strengthens your confidence. Over time, these small wins compound into a broader sense of self-mastery. This is the kind of quiet inner strength that Stoicism emphasizes. The discipline to improve yourself not for external validation, but for the sake of your own growth. But let's go deeper. Why do personal mini-challenges work on a psychological level? It's because they create a pattern of reliability with yourself. Often, people struggle with self-doubt because they've broken promises to themselves in the past. By setting small, manageable challenges and sticking to them, you rebuild trust in your own ability to follow through. This self-trust radiates outward, making you appear dependable and grounded, a quality others find deeply attractive. Here's an analogy to illustrate this. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Each personal mini-challenge is like taking another step up the trail. At first, the step seems small and insignificant, but as you continue, you realize you've built the strength and stamina to reach higher altitudes. The view from the top is breathtaking, not because of one grand leap, but because of the steady, deliberate steps you took along the way. This approach is particularly aligned with Stoicism, which teaches that mastery over the self is achieved through consistent effort. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Personal mini-challenges embody this principle by turning obstacles, however small, into opportunities for growth. Each challenge you set and conquer becomes a lesson in perseverance and self-control. Now, consider how this practice affects your relationships and interactions. When you're consistently challenging yourself, you exude a sense of purpose and direction. People are naturally drawn to those who are moving forward, those who are working towards something bigger than themselves. This isn't about boasting or showcasing your achievements. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're actively shaping your life. Let's put this into action. Think of one small challenge you could set for yourself today. Maybe it's as simple as drinking an extra glass of water, writing a single page in a journal, or spending 5 minutes practicing deep breathing. Whatever it is, commit to it for a week. Notice how completing this small task each day begins to shift your mindset. You'll likely feel a greater sense of control, pride, and self-assurance, qualities that naturally make you more magnetic. Remember, the beauty of personal mini-challenges lies in their accessibility. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight or aim for perfection. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each small step builds momentum, and that momentum carries you closer to the best version of yourself. As you incorporate these challenges into your daily routine, you'll find that they do more than boost your confidence. They create a ripple effect that transforms the way you approach life. You'll feel more capable, more disciplined, and more aligned with your purpose. And that alignment, rooted in self-mastery, is what makes you truly attractive. In the next section, we'll explore the art of strategic listening and how this seemingly simple skill can elevate your interactions and leave a lasting impression. Stay with me because this final technique ties everything together, bringing out the best in your connections and in yourself. 7. Strategic listening, the art of true connection. In a world where everyone is eager to be heard, listening has become a rare and undervalued skill. Most conversations are a game of verbal ping-pong, with people waiting for their turn to speak rather than truly absorbing what the other person is saying. But what if you could change that? What if you could transform your listening into a superpower that not only deepens connections, but also makes you unforgettable? This is the essence of strategic listening. It's not about nodding along or tossing out generic responses like "that's interesting." It's about being fully present, noticing the subtleties in what someone is sharing, their tone, their choice of words, their emotions, and responding in a way that makes them feel seen and understood. When you do this, you create a magnetic connection because you're offering something rare, genuine attention. So what makes strategic listening so powerful? The answer lies in its simplicity. Most people are accustomed to being half listened to. They're used to having their words met with distractions or surface-level engagement. When you listen deeply and respond thoughtfully, it's like giving them a breath of fresh air. They feel valued, respected, and, most importantly, interesting. This leaves a lasting impression, making you stand out in their mind long after the conversation has ended. Here's a question to consider. How often do you listen with the intent to understand rather than the intent to reply? If we're honest, many of us fall into the latter category. Strategic listening requires a shift in mindset. It's about focusing entirely on the other person, setting aside your own agenda, and approaching the conversation with curiosity. Let's explore how to put this into practice. The first step is to silence your inner dialogue. When someone is speaking, resist the urge to formulate your response or share a similar story from your own life. Instead, concentrate fully on their words. Pay attention to the emotions behind their message. Are they excited, frustrated, hopeful? These emotional cues are just as important as the words themselves. Next, ask thoughtful follow-up questions. For instance, if someone tells you about a project they're passionate about, don't just say, "That's great." Instead, dig deeper. Ask, what inspired you to start that project? Or what's been the most rewarding part so far? These kinds of questions show that you're genuinely interested in their experience, not just passing time in conversation. Another powerful technique is to summarize or reflect back what the other person has said. For example, if they're sharing a personal struggle, you might say, "It sounds like this has been a really challenging time for you, but you're finding ways to stay strong." This simple act of acknowledgement makes people feel heard on a profound level. But strategic listening isn't just about understanding, it's also about restraint. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Allow moments of silence to linger in a conversation. These pauses give the other person space to elaborate, often leading to deeper and more meaningful exchanges. From a psychological standpoint, this approach creates trust. When someone feels truly heard, they're more likely to open up and share honestly. This builds a bond that goes beyond surface-level interaction. Over time, they'll associate you with a sense of comfort and connection, making you someone they naturally want to be around. But here's the secret. Strategic listening isn't just for their benefit, it transforms you as well. When you focus deeply on others, you begin to notice patterns in human behavior. You develop empathy, insight, and emotional intelligence. These qualities not only enhance your relationships, but also make you a more self-aware and grounded individual. Stoicism aligns perfectly with this practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Strategic listening embodies this principle by encouraging you to shift the focus from yourself to others while maintaining the discipline to truly engage. It's an act of humility and self-control, both hallmarks of Stoic philosophy. So how can you start incorporating strategic listening into your daily life? Begin by setting an intention before each interaction. Remind yourself to listen fully, without distraction or judgment. Practice summarizing what the other person says, and resist the urge to turn the conversation back to yourself. Over time, these habits will become second nature. Think about the last time someone truly listened to you. How did it make you feel? Chances are it left a lasting impression. Now imagine being that person for others, the one who makes them feel understood and valued. That's the gift you give through strategic listening, and it's one of the most powerful tools for building meaningful relationships. We've traveled through 7 transformative techniques for controlling attraction using principles rooted in self-mastery and psychology. These methods, self-mastery, controlled chaos, intentional imperfections, bold opinions, calmness, personal mini-challenges, and strategic listening, are not gimmicks. They are pathways to building an authentic, magnetic presence that draws others naturally. At the heart of these techniques lies a simple yet profound truth. True attraction begins with you. It's not about chasing, performing, or manipulating. It's about cultivating a life so full of purpose, self-respect, and inner strength that others are compelled to be part of it. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the actions or thoughts of others, only our own responses. By mastering this principle, you unlock the kind of confidence and authenticity that makes you unforgettable. Think back to the examples we've explored. The person who radiates calm in the face of chaos. The individual who owns their imperfections and stands by their opinions with kindness. The one who quietly builds strength through personal challenges and listens so deeply that others feel truly heard. These are the people who leave a lasting impression, not because they're chasing attention, but because they embody self-mastery. Now, take a moment to reflect. Which of these techniques resonates with you most? Is there a part of your life where you can start implementing what you've learned? Maybe it's setting a small personal challenge to rebuild self-discipline. Perhaps it's practicing controlled chaos by balancing availability with independence. Or maybe it's simply listening more deeply in your next conversation. The beauty of these techniques is that they can be applied in any area of your life, starting right now. As you begin to practice these skills, remember that progress takes time. There will be moments when it feels easier to revert to old habits, like seeking external validation or reacting impulsively. But each step you take towards self-mastery strengthens the foundation of your magnetism. Keep returning to the principles of Stoicism. Focus on what you can control, accept what you cannot, and live in alignment with your values. If this journey has inspired you, let it be a call to action. Take one small step today toward becoming the person you aspire to be. Drop a comment below sharing which technique you plan to practice first. Engage with others who are on the same path and inspire each other to grow. And if these insights have added value to your life, consider liking this video, subscribing for more, and sharing it with someone who might benefit from these lessons. Thank you for investing your time and attention in this exploration of self-mastery and attraction. Remember, the goal is not to change who you are to please others. It's to embrace your authentic self so fully that others can't help but be drawn to your presence. Wishing you strength, confidence, and fulfillment on your journey. You are already enough. Let the world see it.